Hello. We got a fair share of unfortunate and bad news today. Although there is good news on the horizon. But most notably, my uncle passed away very suddenly. And it really reminded me of when I lost my wife, my first wife, and how it felt. Because grief is weird. It's a lot stranger than you think if you've never been through it. And I was angry. Oh, I was so angry. And I was angry for a very, very, very long time. Not an exaggeration. Still angry, really. Never really goes away any more than the grief does. And it got me thinking about the one thing that helped. The one thing that seemed to speak to that I needed to hear. Well, there were two things, but this is the introduction that I want to talk about. And that's Harlan Ellison's introduction to his book, Angry Candy. I'm going to read an excerpt, and then that's going to be it. He wrote this when a friend of his, Emily Austin, passed away, or sort of maybe not when she passed away, but sort of that's how this discussion starts. And he talks about all the people that he lost, friends, other writers, just friends sometimes, I think, from 85 to 87. And Emily had passed away in 86. And he talks about going to the funeral with Norman Spinrad, and that he had given a speech. I don't think that Ellison really gives us his speech in here, but I'm not sure because I didn't reread the entire thing. I'm just reading this excerpt. And then, but he does sort of say what Spinrad said, or say very briefly. So I'm going to read that, and then I'm going to read the conclusion. And there's a whole list in this book that shows in the margins of all the people that passed and the dates too. There we go. The camera will not. Will the camera focus? There we go. Oh, I can try and... It will never happen. It will never happen. But camera does not want to cooperate today. The world doesn't want to cooperate either. Here's what Ellison says. It's not seemly to speak harshly at the funeral of someone you loved and who's gone away, and you miss so much it squeezes your chest when you think about them. It's not right to make a big scene and cry about how it hurts when you ask that lost friend a question and she's not there to answer, as if the wind took her answer away. And if you listen hard enough, you can still hear her voice receding, getting thinner and smaller and more transparent. We're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to reassure one another and say dumb things like, well, she couldn't have suffered much. And I want to say those things like that because the ceremonies like this are for the living and not the dead, because the dead are gone and they can't hear what we say. And I can't even take any solace in that because it isn't a new thought. The truth of it is, I can't take any solace at all because Emily's dead. She's just gone, and we won't hear her cleverness again. We won't see the way that she gave a wry smile as she turned halfway so you could enjoy what she'd said without having to worry about her reaction. No one allows us to be angry. It isn't fitting, it isn't seemly, but that's how I feel. I'm just pure and deeply angry that she's gone, that she died when her life was so good. That's cruel. It's like some kind of old Arabian revenge where the jinn waits until you're happiest to slice you down. And in the compassion that we try to show each other, we won't let ourselves be angry. We won't let ourselves scream at the world that is now minus that special part. He does say, you can be angry, in italics. And then what Spinrad says, I'm just skipping ahead to that, he says, don't expect justice. Emily being taken like this is not fair. It's not just. She never deserved to die so soon. There's no justice inherent in the universe except what we put there. All the justice that exists is what we make. Let us show compassion and sense and courage in Emily's name. And Ellison says that he liked what Spinrad said much better. And then he goes on. This is just an absolutely wonderful and very cathartic thing that I read when I really needed to read it. He goes on into the introduction and goes through a bunch of things. Talks about the different people that he lost and how he felt. And he ends this introduction saying, "This is a book of stories that you may think of as angry candy. They will please and entertain. I really and truly hope that they will entertain, and a few of them are supposed to do more than that, but they are also stories that I hope leave a bittersweet taste in your mind, like a jalapeno-laced cinnamon bear. They are stories I wrote because my friends are gone, a lot of them, and if you can't be angry about it, how the hell much did you care to begin with? It is something. At last, it is something." Thank you.